one more script after I create this virtual object. Okay, just I'm going to hit the same button again, the eraser button. And then say, stop this one. So now it's going to say, because before I create virtual object, this is how it is, the script. So now what I did is, I created my own custom object, and then I recorded against that particular button. So that's where, if you look at these two statements, the difference is, now it's saying, okay, you're clicking on that eraser button. Tomorrow when you go back and look at your script, you know something, okay, this particular line is doing something on this eraser button. It's trying to click on this button. But whereas if you look at this particular line, so no, I don't have any clue what this 21 and 41 is, where it is clicking. So this is where whenever you see in the scripts this kind of lines like win object, then you can think of just create some custom objects for those. See, these are most probably you will get this kind of statements like the win object statements whenever you are creating a script in the application. When you come across any third-party controls, that is where the QTP is going to don't recognize them. So that's what it's trying to locate what the location of that particular control on the application. So that's where you can think of, okay, so this is not something, it's not recognized. So you can do these custom objects, the virtual objects. Whereas sometimes what happens is, see, when you record, say for example, you are trying to record against the Chrome browser, okay? Then what happens there also, like you see sometimes like win object, but that is not something like you have to do with the custom objects. Basically, there actually the entire application is not recognized. So that's where you can think of. So that's where you can think of probably you don't have the right add-in in place, or you can also think of maybe you are trying to record against the application that is not supported by QTP. That case is totally different. But whereas here, in this case, maybe some of the buttons or some of the objects in the application may not be recognized by QTP because of the nature they are the third-party controls. Whereas the rest of the application is good. Only a couple of objects, couple of controls, they're not working or they're not recognized properly by QTP. Then you can think of creating a custom object for them. So that's not actually like, that's where actually you can think of this creating a virtual object, wherever just you see when you create the scripts, if the QTP says like something like it's a win object, then okay, you can think of how you can better handle the situation by creating a virtual object. Okay, so any questions? Hello?
Can we use same kind of thing for the Flex applications?
You can, but the thing is, like that's what I mentioned. If the total application is like that, maybe you end up with creating so many virtual objects. So you have to decide. Basically, if you have the right add-in placed, maybe the Flex application might work. But
I tried, but everything it is taking as XY coordinates.
Yeah. So which add-in you installed?
Flex add-in.
Flex add-in?
Yeah.
So what the QTP support says? Did you check online?
I did Google. Everyone is saying source code is required for Flex application.
Source code?
Source code is required for Flex application.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, so that is a different case. Probably, maybe the QTP is not supporting the version like what you're using. Maybe.
No, I am using 1.5 UFT.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, just to be,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're
So in that case, can we do everything like this?
You can. So yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, virtual objects get stored into the object repository. So if you go to the object repository, so they get stored here. There is a button. Okay. All right, is this clear? So what's the virtual object and how you create virtual objects? Any other questions? Okay. Okay. So the next thing is, what is the difference between if you run the script, then it's going to hit that button. So for example, if I select this one, then I'm going to run this step, right? Okay, so it's going to hit that button. All right. So that's how whatever the object that you created. So it's going to hit that object. All right. So the next one is the analog recording. And what's the difference between analog recording and low-level recording? So analog recording is there is a slight difference between them, how you want to use it. Analog recording is going to record the tracks. See, basically, I hope you people know there are different recording modes in QTP, right? So what are the different recording modes? So the first one is the context sensitive. Context sensitive recording. So this is the default recording mode. context sensitive